It's not shocking to hear that the open source ecosystem is complex. But with that complexity comes disagreement, and getting the wider group's consensus is an uphill battle to be climbed. It is in some of those disagreements that have direct policy implications. Some maintainers worry about where their projects might end up being used. Some are wary of corporate involvement in the space, shaping project direction and governance. And others OSS as a path toward a digital right to repair. A new report from the Atlantic Council's Cyber Statecraft initiative, working in collaboration with Open Source Policy Network, dropped February 7th. The report, which is built on the understanding that policymakers are now looking to support the security and sustainability for open source as a new shared resource, and the idea of open source as infrastructure. It is under that lens we look at the criticality of OSS projects being determined by not the creators, but by those using the package, and the responsibility that rests in the hands of the industry. What's interesting is that while the report identifies key principles of OSS development and use, it relates that to the other physical infrastructure that have long-standing mature policies and laws that provide recommendations and guidelines. This helps policymakers be pointed towards adaptable policies that address more familiar forms of infrastructure. Think about it. The interstate you drove on to get to a holiday celebration, the water that gets delivered to your house, and the capital markets that kept the world afloat while we shut down, open source is now being elevated to these pillars of our society around the world. Open source is very likely at the heart of making all that infrastructure a reality. Yet we must consider how to secure and keep it safe. We need to think about how choices related to which open source component to use impact the lives and well-being of citizens, and now we are. Work like this paper shows a dramatic turn in that direction. The report also takes you through a variety of US and European Union examples of policies that the government can readily modify and adopt to better support and engage in the OSS ecosystem. Although it's a beefy read, I'll tell you, it's worth the read. This is Katie Grigg in Alexandria, Virginia.
Search for and subscribe to It's 505 wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.